Hey, what to do, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Just having a great day. So I know it's been quite a while since I picked up the camera. It's not because nothing's been going on. I have been extremely busy. We've been trying to focus our efforts on some pretty serious changes up towards the front of the ranch that we will be showing you guys in today's video. So the reason that I have been pretty slow on the filming is because I'm going to be real smart about where I spend my time, because it's no secret, right now in San Diego, the economy is not great. Trucking slow, construction slow. I think pretty much almost every industry is kind of in the toilet right now. So I'm having to be real smart about what I do. And without being too cringy, guys, YouTube does not fit into that. If financially it made more sense, I would keep making the videos, but I do it as a hobby. So right now, I just don't have time to pick up the camera, put videos together. If for some reason that were to change and you guys were able to like explode the channel, which I don't expect you guys to do, right now we're still gonna probably be hanging out about the one video per month until things kind of change up a little bit. But if things keep going as they are, you guys, I'm probably only gonna have enough time to pick up the camera for probably one video a month, because it is very time consuming. And like I said, I gotta be smart right now. So we are gonna put a video together that's gonna be pretty cool today. We got a lot of stuff going on up at the front of the ranch. Right now I'm working on our well pump, which had a bearing that just completely detonated. And these are super crucial to pretty much everything out here. And as I'm down here looking, I think we may have to focus some efforts here pretty quick. That water tank is in pretty rough shape. How'd it turn out, man? Super excited. The only thing really left to do is just to tighten everything down and go grab a hot dog and test this thing out. Alright guys, well, I'm a certified butcher now, so we did pretty good. So first item up on the list, we're going to be taking some of these boulders, and we're basically just going to be like kind of placing them intermittently throughout all the trees that we've planted. There we go. Easy day. Did take. I'm just really hoping that the one bearing that we picked up fixes this thing, because right now we are running off of one well pump, that guy right there, and if for some reason that one fails, then we really got some problems. Kind of think I'm losing my mind a little bit. Walked all the way down here and I forgot the bearing. I'll be right back. So after a ton of trips back and forth, I think I finally have all the tools that I need. I was gonna try and just kind of like tap it into place using screwdrivers, but it didn't really want to seat very well. So I had to run up and grab my hammer. And hopefully we're able to get it up. Let's see. And let's go flathead. All right, well, just about got it all put back together. We got the new bearing in there. Everything's all mounted back up. The only thing we have left to do is tighten down the front right here. You guys can see we got these bottom mounting bolts that kind of fell out as I was banging things around. So let's see if we can go ahead and get these tightened up and get this bottom one started. This other one started. I'm really nervous right now. I'm really hoping that this thing works, because these pumps right here, this one in specific is a 2 horsepower pump, and I think they run about $2,800, and I do not want to buy a new one. So hopefully a $15 bearing can save us a ton of money. All right, well, we can go ahead and open these valves back up. Oh. Went ahead and isolated the system. Okay. Time to go ahead and turn it on and see what it sounds like. Ooh, baby. I think we're in business. It's working great. We're just about to be topped off right there. We have them set to about 80 pounds. You guys can see pincher bugs coming out of the control box right there. These things are relentless, and they do not like electricity. And now that I see them coming out of there, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up, because a lot of times stuff like that will short circuit. There are a ton of pincher bugs coming out of this thing. I hate pincher bugs so much. They just get into everything when it gets left dormant, especially if it's like damp and moist. Come on. Oh my gosh, look at that. Get out of there. Come on. We're gonna go ahead and turn power back off, and I'm gonna get that thing cleaned back out. All right, well, now that they're dead, we can go ahead and turn the power back on, but we've already reached pressure. I think it actually shut off before I killed power to it. So I think we're done. I just gotta clean up my mess. You guys can see that I had to bring down my clip assortment box. I was putting the old one on and it just like was almost there, and then it went bing and it shot out into the weeds, so I was not gonna look for it. So anyways, we are done down here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my mess, and then we're gonna run up to the front property. See you guys up there. So like I always say, as always, there may be something else that works its way into this video. Mike just showed up and he's got that little piece that I broke on the Butcher Boy bandsaw, and it's repaired, which I'm super, super excited for, because that's another key instrument that we're gonna be needing to modify this side of the shop into something really, really cool. So I'm really hoping that it works. You guys can see that he's right there. He's already over by the bandsaw. I'm so excited right now. Super, super excited. How'd it turn out, man? Super excited.
It's that blue stuff, man. It's you know, we'll see if it holds up. The first time I did it, it snapped off, but then I did it again, and it came out pretty good.
I think it's gonna work because there's not a lot of
pressure
on it.
I
just broke it.
It's just safer, man, to go with this stuff, because if I tried to take it up, you know, it could have. That'll be the last case scenario if this breaks. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're good. Go ahead and see. I'm really excited about this.
That's good, man. I'm glad. I hope it works. I was afraid I was going to damage it, but I don't know.
It's pretty smooth. Okay, so this. I'm trying to remember when.
Oh, yeah. Is that this nut? No, it wouldn't have been that.
Yeah, and it's impossible for it not to line up because it was all just one piece. Yep. Good so far.
Is that this one here?
I don't remember.
I don't know why it has a nut on it. It looks like the rest of it.
So far, so good. Great. We just, I boogered this up. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix it real quick. All right, well, I went ahead and just like kind of rough fit this back plate on here, and I think we're looking pretty good. So the only thing really left to do is just to tighten everything down and go grab a hot dog and test this thing out.
So when I was doing it, a piece of the stuff blobbed on there, but I thought it was this breaking down, so I stopped. You know?
Oh, okay.
And then I came back a couple hours later, and I'm like, oh. And I just didn't want to put any more heat on it after that.
That's fine.
But the good thing is when this stuff does come off, it doesn't penetrate. So if it breaks again, all I gotta do is just get all that off there with a burr.
All right, so we have everything back together. This is sliding somewhat nice. We've got, I don't know what you say that is, like a 2.5 inch gap right there.
Chuck roast.
Chuck roast?
Chuck roast thickness.
We're not gonna waste a good piece of beef right now, but I do have some bones because we just had a couple beefs processed on Monday, which means we got some of the weird stuff left over, and we're gonna see if this thing works. So this is definitely on the weirder side of things, but my dogs absolutely love these. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it into 2 for them. All right, how do you think it's gonna work, Mike?
I think it's gonna work. You should be able to cut frozen on there. I don't know.
Frozen? You think that's gonna make a big difference?
I don't think so.
Okay. Here we go. What's that?
I think you rest against that, right?
Oh, smart. So it can't kick back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Things ready for the marrow to be sucked right out of it.
I think it did pretty good. Because that's a thick bone.
Yeah, it is. Run it that way.
Oh, that's getting close to my fingers. I mean, I guess I got to get comfortable with this thing. Ooh. All right, here we go. I don't know about this.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
If it wasn't frozen and bone and hoof.
Yeah, it's just weird. But it did good. Because that's a thick bone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the motor didn't bog down whatsoever. The blade,
Yeah.
you know, probably would have went, you know how the sound they make when they cut it?
I'm going to do one more time this way, though. All right, guys. Well, I'm a certified butcher now. We did pretty good because that is thick. I mean, that's like my fist thick or more. That's gnarly, and it didn't even bog down. Mike, you did a great job.
Thanks.
I'm super excited. This is mega awesome. I don't know what to do from here. I got to start thinking about this again, and this isn't even what today's video is about. Just super exciting. So we are gonna head back up to the front of the property though. Huge thanks to Mike for fixing my mess ups as usual. And yeah, see you guys in a little bit. I have been using this thing a bunch lately. I think on this project total, it's probably the 6th time I've filled it up. She's putting in a lot of hours up there. And of course, I just dropped my cap in the dirt, so I gotta go blow it off real quick. I don't know, I got a fresh battery in the GoPro. So the other day, my buddy Dylan calls me and he's like, "Hey James, I got 1 or 2 truckloads of boulders. Would you be interested?" So everybody knows that boulders make for great accents for landscaping. Well, long story short, I get home and there's 2 piles of dirt sitting here, and I was like, "What's going on?" I call Dylan and he's like, "Dude, I'm sorry, they went to the wrong site." Not a huge deal. I can use the dirt anyways. But what showed up after that was super cool. Dylan really pulled through and we ended up getting a ton of boulders. Check this out. There's a total, I think, of like 9 truckloads right here of just big, beautiful boulders. Not all of them are huge. We got small ones over here, but we got some big kahunas over there. I probably already took, I'd say about maybe a truckload of boulders up there by the water truck. So first item up on the list, we're going to be taking some of these boulders and we're basically just gonna be like kind of placing them intermittently throughout all the trees that we've planted. Little accents. We might make like a couple round areas where people can sit and have nice conversations. We are definitely going to be changing up our pond scenario though. I think we're gonna be making it a little bit taller, a little bit more grand, probably even make the pond a little bit bigger. I got some clay coming out here next week, so there's a lot of stuff going on right now. It's just looking marvelous up there. I love it so much. So anyways, we're gonna jump in the 299 and move a bunch of rocks. Now it's always hard to reference how big something is on camera. We got this boulder right here, which is pretty good size. There are some bigger ones in here, like that one right there is pretty good size. But we're gonna go ahead and get this one in the bucket so you guys can kind of see how big they are for size reference. So yeah, pretty much fills up the entire bucket with one boulder. And for anyone who's not familiar, boulders are very heavy. And the back end of this machine is, I don't want to say it's floating, but there's not a whole lot of weight on it right now. All right, so we're gonna try and go about this the right way as far as making YouTube videos is concerned, because I'm absolutely awful doing this. I have a hard time like picking up the camera to show you guys what I'm actually working with. So here's what we got. We got a bunch of trees. We got a bunch of dirt and weeds. We got boulder number 1 right here. We got some other stuff over here. That's actually dead, so I'm gonna be ripping that out. We'll get those pipes out of the way. But this is just so you guys can see the before. And then once we get the boulders placed and the mulch spread out, we'll show you guys an after. All right, so I'm thinking boulder number 1, we're gonna put right here. It's a nice and flat one. All right, gonna make our way over to grab boulder number 2. Actually, let me go ahead and get these pipes out of the way real quick. And go ahead and get rid of this guy. All right, so we are having to move a bunch of the smaller rocks around that I don't really know what to do with yet in order to get to some of the bigger boulders like that one. Not a huge deal, but minor inconvenience. All right, we're gonna go ahead and try and load up this guy. Can we do it? Oh! That's a big rock. Look at that. That's a nice flat edge. This is gonna be a super cool boulder. All right, we got it. This one's definitely making the tractor rock a little bit. So I just got off the phone with my sister, who's actually like a landscaping wizard. And for anybody who may be wondering, I asked her, can you overdo it with boulders? And she said, yes, you definitely can. She said they can only be in groups of, well, I guess one's not gonna be a group, but they can be placed by themselves or in groups of 2 or 3, but never do 4 boulders in a group. And then she said the other thing that you want to do is go ahead and dig down a couple inches. Then you're going to want to place the boulder in there and then bring the dirt back up to it. And then that way the boulder's going to look natural. It's going to look like that it was part of the landscape instead of just like kind of what we did over there, how it's just sitting on top of the dirt. I could see how this would be much more appealing. So now that I'm looking at this, I think I'm actually going to dig down just a little bit more. You guys can see my little pile of dirt right here. And then we're actually going to bring a water truck over before I backfill it. The stuff is just so dry, but I'll go down probably another 2 inches right there, and then I think I'll actually grab that rock and bring it over and park it next to this one. All right, well, we ended up placing a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 more over by the entrance. I think 15 boulders in total. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go ahead and hit all that with the water truck because it's just a dust bomb over there. We got this thing completely filled up. I actually don't like doing that. I just kind of forgot that the solar pump was going, and all of a sudden I see water coming over the top. And these poor old tires. I'll be honest, I'm surprised they haven't exploded. So we're gonna go ahead and see if this thing will start. Highly doubt it. But sometimes it surprises me. I can never figure out why it does what it does. So let's go ahead and see. So close. It's not quite there though. I think it's just gonna need a little extra oomph from the 299. I got jumper cables up here and ready to go. All right, come on, girl. There we go. Easy day. Didn't take that long. So now that this is super exciting, but I almost have this hillside exactly where I want it. It's gonna be kind of hard to pick it up on camera. Right here, it's more of like a ramp. And as you guys go farther back, you can see how it kind of rolls up onto that edge right there. And then right here, it rolls as well. I need probably about, I would say half to maybe 1 more truckload of dirt to go ahead and get the final shape that I want. But anyhow, the water truck is running, so we're gonna go ahead and get that taken care of. The 299 is dusty. It just is so dry out here, it's ridiculous. So as much as I would like to go ahead and sit in the tractor and just knock this out, there's a little bit of handwork that's required. When we dug down, there's obviously a little bit of a void underneath there. So I'm just gonna shovel underneath these things real quick, get all those gaps filled. That one's pretty close to being done already. That's how this whole project's been. It's just a lot of not very exciting stuff. So I'm gonna put the camera down. I got probably about 20-30 minutes of shoveling to do. And then we'll pick it back up and hopefully we'll be to the spreading mulch phase of things. I did put like 2 scoops over there and then quickly realized I should change up how I'm doing this. So I'll be back in just a little bit. So GoPros might not be super duper, but I will say that they are tough. This is the second time this camera has been ran over. Once by the 410 backhoe. I think it was actually the outrigger that pushed down on it. And then now it was right there. I just ran it over with the 299. I accidentally left it on the back of the tractor and I'm human. Anyways, yeah, we got those ones all concealed. That one's concealed. We just gotta start bringing the mulch over for that. And I'm just gonna keep going. All right, well that is the entire load of mulch. You guys can see we kind of have it spread out. We got to about right here. And we still have all of that to do. Got that whole hillside to do. We got stuff on the other side of the container over there. So if I had to take a guess, I think we're gonna need at least 10 more loads. Probably closer to 12. We'll see. I'll get this stuff spread out. We'll kind of see how we're looking, but we're still gonna need a bunch of this stuff because I think I'm actually gonna put it along all the trees along the front too. Which, now that I'm looking at that, we're probably gonna need like 15 or 16 more loads of this stuff. Anyways, we'll just keep doing one load at a time. So luckily I've got some pretty cool friends that are nice enough to bring it out at a very reasonable rate. So it's not gonna cost me like an absolute fortune, but it's still not gonna be cheap. So anyways, I'm just gonna start spreading this stuff out, and then after that, I think I'll probably call it a day. We got some stuff we gotta do tonight. But a lot of progress was made today. I love working up on this project. All right, not the funnest job in the world, but we got it spread out. And it's actually starting to look kind of nice. This has forever just been like an empty dirt lot. So it's kind of nice to actually have some landscaping in here. I think the boulders turned out super, super cool. They're not like in your face, really popping out, but they just kind of give it like a nice little accent. And they kind of look somewhat natural. I'm really glad that I recessed them a little bit like my sister told me to. And now that the mulch is up there, I think this just turned out super, super cool. There's definitely been a learning curve on what grows well out here and what does not. I wish I had planted 1,000 of these things out here. This is a desert willow. We thought this thing was dead about 2 months ago. And it had grown pretty big. And then as you guys know, my watering system kind of sucked. And almost all of it had died with the exception of like this little green nub that was sticking up above the ground. And this is what it has turned into so far. Another desert willow that was planted at the same time as that one was this guy right here. They just do extremely well with a very little bit of water. And then when they get a decent amount of water, they do super, super good. And then on the flip side of that, we have whatever that is. That thing's not doing very good. It's probably getting torn out. This little guy, it struggles. Something broke the top of it off, and so it needs to be replaced. But oak trees do very well. Jacarandas do well. So yeah, pretty pumped on the progress that was made today. Getting all these boulders placed was actually a lot more work than I thought it was gonna be. Pretty much like everything on this project ends up being. All right, so I went ahead and took a couple steps back. You guys can see that's the area where we were working over there. But you guys can kind of see the magnitude of everything that we got going on here. We got a bunch more trees over here, placed a couple more boulders here. Obviously I need to smooth all this out. We're gonna be putting mulch down right there too. And probably within the next, I would say 2 to 3 weeks, we're gonna start making this area look real pretty too. We ordered a couple pergolas off of Amazon, which I'm really excited to put up. The amount of work we have to do up here is just insane. So anyways, this has pretty much been my life for the past, I wanna say 2 to 3 months, maybe even 4. I just have been working non-stop up here. And a lot of it, like I said, is not very exciting stuff in like the day-to-day. It's very repetitive. We got the same thing going over and over again. But in the grand scheme of things, it's gonna be super awesome when it's done. We'll be doing a little bit of work with those here in the near future. We ordered some pretty cool kits off of Amazon. We're gonna be installing some pergolas in front of them. And I think I'll probably make a video on that because that one's somewhat exciting. But as far as what we got going on next, it's just a bunch of that same stuff, just spreading the mulch out, cleaning up as we go around, starting to make it look nice. So before I start rambling on too much, I just wanted to give a huge thanks to my wife. She's been mega awesome. I couldn't do this project without her. It's just been her and I up here jamming almost every day. All our free time is completely consumed by this project. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go and put the screws this video. I do appreciate you guys taking a little bit of time out of your day to watch it. If you could do me a huge solid, like, subscribe, share this with your amigos, hit that notification button down below so you can continue to see progress. with whatever else we got going on out here at the ranch, and I will see you guys next time. Later.